Welcome back to AG Chelsea TV. This is a YouTube channel for news, stories, and analysis surrounding Chelsea Football Club. I will update new video every day. Like, subscribe and turn on notifications to support me. Crystal Palace close in on landing Chelsea starlet on a season-long loan. According to the Daily Mail, Crystal Palace are close to completing the signing of Chelsea fullback Lewis Hall on a season-long loan. The deal is expected to be completed in the next 48 hours. Hall is set to compete with Tyrick Mitchell on the left-back line, with the deal nearing agreement with the West Londoners. Hall was called upon from the academy after Ben Chilwell and Marc Cucurella sustained injuries, and the 18-year-old did not disappoint. A season-long loan spell where he gets a reasonable amount of game time will be a wise move for Hall, who possesses excellent qualities as a left-back. The chances of him garnering regular time on the field is unlikely at Stamford Bridge, necessitating other options being brought to the table. Last campaign, he showed maturity when given the responsibilities and really stood up in his performance. It saw him feature in 9 Premier League games and also be named as Chelsea's Academy Player of the Season. With Marc Cucurella, Ben Chilwell, and now Ian Maatsen all available, Chelsea have little need to retain Hall as a fourth-choice left-back. The chances of him accelerating his development elsewhere on a temporary basis is a win-win for all. Mauricio Pochettino was convinced by Maatsen's performance during pre-season and made the decision to include him in his plans for the next season. This more or less closed the door for other players to break into contention in the same role. It will be a good move for Hall, as he will get a good amount of game time instead of being a backup at Chelsea next season. Palace are a decent side and have shown a semblance of resurgence under Roy Hodgson. Working with the veteran manager will certainly aid Hall's progress and development. Chelsea confirm Reece James as new captain. Chelsea have announced that Reece James is their new captain. The 23-year-old, who came through Chelsea's academy, takes the armband from Cesar Azpilicueta, who left Stamford Bridge to join Atletico Madrid earlier this summer. "I'm so happy to take on the role and responsibility," said James. "I know I've got big shoes to fill because we have had huge captains here in the past, but I am excited. I have been at Chelsea pretty much my whole life. I started here when I was 6 and to come through the academy is tough, but to go on and become captain, it's a great feeling for me and my family." Mauricio Pochettino said, "This is a decision taken by me and the club. We are very pleased Reece will captain the side this season. He leads by example and his attitude and dedication to Chelsea has been clear throughout pre-season. He proudly wore the armband during our summer tour and will take up the challenge of leading our squad with his own approach and ideas." James is set to wear the armband for Chelsea's Premier League opener against Liverpool on Sunday. Kepa now wants reunion with Thomas Tuchel. Kepa Arrizabalaga is now keen on a reunion with Thomas Tuchel at Bayern Munich, and Chelsea are happy to let him go. That is according to the Evening Standard. So, what is the latest on Kepa Arrizabalaga at Chelsea? Let's take a look. Well, this news has come from out of nowhere. Kepa looked set to start the 2023-24 campaign as number 1 at Chelsea following the departure of Edouard Mendy. Robert Sanchez has arrived from Brighton, although he is expected to begin his career at Stamford Bridge on the bench. Now, however, the Spaniard wants to reunite with his old manager at Bayern Munich, after the German giants decided to make a move. The Evening Standard believe Tuchel is the one driving Bayern Munich's interest in Kepa, and the Bavarians are preparing a loan offer which also includes an option to buy next summer. Chelsea are said to be happy to let the £190,000 a week glovesman leave for Bayern Munich, despite the fact Mauricio Pochettino is a fan of the Spain international. Kepa still has 2 years remaining on his contract, and the Evening Standard suggest that his hefty salary is one of the main reasons why Chelsea are open to letting him depart. Tuchel rarely used Kepa at Stamford Bridge in comparison to Mendy. The German handed the Senegal international 78 appearances during his time in charge of Chelsea, whereas he only gave Kepa 24 games to showcase his skills. Mendy was firmly on the market earlier this summer, which begs the question, why didn't Tuchel sign him rather than pursue Kepa? It is a very odd development, to say the least, although Chelsea seem more than happy to entertain Bayern Munich's interest as another change in the goalkeeping department appears to be imminent. Blues now discussing personal terms with a special player. Fabrizio Romano has claimed that Chelsea are now actively discussing personal terms over the potential signing of Tyler Adams. He took to Twitter to state that the potential transfer would be a completely separate negotiation, and not impact any of the deals they are still trying to complete. The Blues have been linked with the signing of Adams as they begin to get a bit more desperate to address the midfield situation at Stamford Bridge going into next season. This has occurred due to the difficult scenario surrounding Moises Caicedo. They have made the Ecuador international their #1 target this summer. However, they have not really made much progress in negotiating with Brighton, who are sticking to their guns when it comes to an asking price for the player. There has at least now been some movement on the player's side. He has begun to stop turning up to training in attempt to force his current club to negotiate with Chelsea. Even still, the Blues are looking at other options in the position with just days to go until the Premier League season returns with the visit of Liverpool to Stamford Bridge. Romano has claimed things have moved to the next stage regarding a deal for Adams, who has been described before as a special by prior coach Jesse Marsh. He said, "Understand Chelsea are now actively working on Tyler Adams' deal. Talks ongoing between clubs and personal terms being discussed." Again, not linked with Caicedo. Separate deal as Moises insists since Sunday, he didn't play as he wants to leave and join Chelsea. The USA international would provide some Premier League experience at a time where Mauricio Pochettino does not have a great deal to call upon, especially in the middle of the park. Deal agreed. Fabrizio Romano gives amazing update on Chelsea move for attacking sensation. Fabrizio Romano has once again given something for Chelsea fans to be excited about ahead of their 2023-24 Premier League opener against Liverpool by confirming their latest move for another future star from the Brazilian market. Romano has given his confirmation that the London side have agreed a deal with Brazilian club Santos for the acquisition of their young striker David Washington. The Blues have struck a verbal agreement with the South American side. Santos have accepted a transfer fee of around £17.2 million from Chelsea for the teenage forward. Romano also claims that Washington has agreed a long-term deal with the Premier League heavyweights because he wanted to join the Stamford Bridge club. It's added that the two clubs are working on preparing the necessary documents to get a deal over the line soon. Romano also adds that Chelsea are yet to decide if they want to keep the 18-year-old in their first-team squad this season. The club will make a decision on whether to loan him to French club Strasbourg, which is also owned by Todd Boehly's company. The Brazilian teenage striker has caught the attention of many clubs after breaking through the ranks at Santos, for whom he scored 2 goals in 9 Brazil Serie A appearances earlier this summer. Washington was impressive for Santos U-20 side, having scored 6 goals in 13 appearances for them. The 18-year-old is a natural centre-forward who can also play as a left winger if needed. He has been hailed as a sensation thanks to his impressive performances for the South American side and is probably being eyed to be involved in Chelsea's long-term project. The Blues have heavily invested in signing players from the Brazilian market, having also signed the likes of Andres Santos and Angelo Gabriel earlier this year. It remains to be seen what decision they make for Washington, who seems to have all the traits to be a clinical goal scorer in the future. And that's the end of this video. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications to support me.